Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Let's talk about the dismal outlook that the Federal Reserve's talking about. Get off of there. It's rolling chairs getting cut and everything. Let's talk about the dismal outlook that the Dallas Fed survey just signaled a stagflation threat in September. Weird. So we just did a video about this. Jamie Dimon's out not worrying, he's just worrying about how many of homes he's going to be able to gobble up in this next crash and take, stocks off the market for pennies on the dollar and all that kind of stuff. That's what he's really worried about. But he's signaling that the crash is near and people should be worried. But most people don't listen to this. Why? Because they're listening to Jim Cramer. What a tool. Type 1 if you think Jim Cramer's a tool. Type 2 if you think he's amazing and all of his stock picks are amazing. It says right here, September, this is out of Zero Hedge, by the way. September was an ugly month for Texas, with both manufacturing and services surveys chock full of disappointment and stagflationary signals. Now remember, stagflation is when you have a time of high employment, which I don't believe at all, coupled with, what was it? I already forgot. Let's put it this way, it's bad. Oh yeah, inflation. We're seeing slow consumer growth. Sorry, my mind is spinning in a bunch of different directions and I'm listening to aircrafts landing because I'm in the landing zone. Would that be the danger zone? Sorry, I'm off track. I did sit next to Kenny Loggins the other day on an airplane, so I'm just got danger zone in my head. It says here, the good news, growth in Texas factories activities resumed in September. Well, that sounds like really good news. According to the Dallas Fed manufacturing survey, with the production index rebounding a somewhat shocking 20 points to a positive 7.9, its highest reading of the year. It says, as one respondent put it, the summer funk has not relented. Perceptions of broader manufacturing business conditions continue to worsen in September. The general business activity and company outlook indexes remain largely unchanged at a negative 18.1% and negative 17.5% respectively. Get used to a bunch of negative numbers. I'm going to be honest, it's not going to look pretty here soon. Uncertainty regarding outlooks picked up notably, with the corresponding index pushing up 14 points to 27.0, which is its highest reading in nearly a year. So we are at the highs for the year of uncertainty. Type 3 if you're certain the economy is going to crash within the next 12 months. And type 4 if you're like, no, I listened to Jim Cramer. Everything's fine. And it says, and more exciting still, prices paid, current and expectations for prices received, which is also known as expected price pressures for end clients, are both on the rise. I love inflation. It smells like inflation in the morning. I bet you that's what all the traders say on Wall Street until it becomes too much for them, when it's hitting them in their pocketbooks. This sucks. And more exciting still, prices, we already read that. All right, this is where it gets really interesting. Now, again, I'm just reading about the Dallas Fed survey, okay? This is the survey of people that work for the Federal Reserve, these really smart people, and their thoughts on the economy. And their words, not mine, it's dismal. That's not good. It means not good. No bueno in another language. Put down below what you think in any language you want. It says respondents were mixed, but three themes were evident when we're talking about these Federal Reserve governors. China's weakness. China's economic woes are believed to be much worse than expected. What? I guess that Evergrande thing is sort of a big deal. Weird, and wish I knew somebody else warning about that a while back. Whatever. It says here, driving down exports while internal pressures on building and construction, automotive, and general merchandise through inflationary pressures, and particularly the cost of financing, is slowing growth domestically in China. We haven't even gotten to us yet in Ford. As a basic materials company, this is hitting us on all fronts and slowing business dramatically. Well, that sucks. They also say China remains very weak with no uptick post-COVID. Remember that when they're all super pumped? Like they're going to open up and they're going to crush it. They're going to buy all our cars. They're going to buy all this crap. It's going to be great. And then nothing. Crickets. Even the crickets are saving their money right now. It's ugly. And Wall Street just keeps going from one hope to another, and it's just like they don't happen. And I think that you're seeing at the end of September, we're here now. Everything's going to be falling apart. All markets have weakened except auto, which has built inventory over the last several quarters. We expect the market to roll over too. Perhaps the UAW strike will be the impetus. Another interesting fact, we've seen Honda, Toyota, we've seen Japanese automakers, we've seen Korean automakers have a hard time getting stuff to the States. Wouldn't it be really interesting, just a thought here, that we have all these auto strikes going on, and now our companies, our American-made companies, cannot produce the cars. What if all of a sudden Korea and Japan, China went, oh, this is an opportunity. Let's flood the market in America with as much cars as we can, and let's drop the prices, and let's try and grab back market share. It'd be a really interesting thing, wouldn't it? I just a thought. Now, another theme that is going on right now with these the Dallas Fed is taxes and regulation. This is something else that's leading to a dismal look in the economy. They say we continue to see weakening demand in the primary metals sector. This is in part due to uncertainty on many fronts, but especially with federal regulations and taxes. September will be as good, if not better, than August, but when it seems our world will get slower and see greater uncertainty. Interesting. Number 3, interest rates. That's on everyone's mind. Stardania, thank you so much for the... These are ugly curtains, I ain't gonna lie. Sorry, squirrel. Says interest rates. The outlook is dismal with oil prices increasing and interest rates strangling many sectors, including ours. Now, the video I did earlier today was talking about Jamie Dimon revealing that he believes, and he is the Fed whisperer, he is the one that has the pulse of the Fed because he is so darn close, being the CEO of the largest bank in America. He knows that the Fed funds rate's going to 7. I'm telling you what, I agree. And I think that's going to push mortgage rates over 10, and you're going to see an epic housing meltdown. I can't wait to take advantage of it, and I can't wait to watch you take advantage of it. We're going to absolutely dominate it and crush it, because we're not listening to Dave Ramsey, and we're not listening to Jim Cramer, and we're not listening to a bunch of young YouTubers that have never known any interest rate outside of 3 and 4%. Pretty interesting times, huh? Says, finally, this one respondent summed up things very well. As a member of the industrial production segment, we have had a very hard time hiring qualified personnel. I mean, if you just walk down the street, this little side note, and you watch all the people running around with blue, green, and purple and pink hair and don't even know which bathroom to go into, it's pretty obvious that the job pool is a little thin, if you know what I mean. Type 6 if you are a business owner and you know exactly what I'm referring to. IQs aren't quite up there. As a matter of fact, there's a report out of the military. Oh, where was that report? What was that report called? It showed like the average IQ in the military was turning down just this record amount of people. Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
You don't remember it. Oh man, find it quick. Find it and give it to me, because I'd love to share this with everybody. All right, sorry, it's my son with me. We were up here in Seattle filming course content for the real estate course, and so we're flying back today. But this is really interesting. It says they're having a hard time finding qualified personnel. For the last 3 years, we as a country are trying to reshore our manufacturing back to the US and become more independent of China and Taiwan. That's because Taiwan's planning on going in and bombing the snot out of Taiwan. And China, when they do it, they're going to do it because they said, when we do this, we're going to do it either nicely or by force. Like, hey, Taiwan, we're coming, we're knocking on the door, and they're like, we're not here. They're like, well, it doesn't matter. We've got a big tank out front, and they're going to do it. We're trying desperately to get manufacturing over here, especially in the chip sector and semiconductor sector. If we don't do that, we are in very serious trouble. And if you're in the semiconductor industry, I know I'm just glossing over all of this, but it's a big deal. Let them know down in the comment section. But we need to bring manufacturing back. And that's why I've been pushing side hustles and starting businesses. The greatest time to start a business is during a crash, because you get to take advantage of all the other business people that didn't see it coming. If you see it coming and you don't go get yourself into debt and you start a business small and with cash and you build up reserves, build up inventory, and you sell it properly, then what you find is that you go take over everyone else. Remember, there were more millionaires made during the Great Depression than any other time in history. And You're going to see that opportunity again, but it is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It says here, I don't have to say that raising interest rates to this level does affect the capital requirement purchases in a big way. Obviously, most of them are sold in leases. And over the last 35 years in this industry, our company has experienced the same every time interest rates go up beyond 5%. Wait a minute, the ninja's been saying this. Are you watching me? Is there a camera in here? So it's very interesting. The same effect happens in business. It's very interesting. It says we are living under completely different economic circumstances to have high interest rates. Well, that's just because we haven't seen interest rates like this in the last 23 years. This is gonna be good. It says here, it's time. Isn't it time to start lowering interest rates and have the country's backbone, manufacturing industry, become more confident in this economy? That's an interesting question. No, it's not, because they haven't broken the back of the economy yet. Jay Powell's job is to make sure that most of you don't have a job. He's going to get paid, just like Janet Yellen. You know, she's always worked for the Federal Reserve, like I think since she was like 18, pretty much. I mean, when dinosaurs were, I mean, she's been there a long time. She's known nothing other than this. But remember, she's the one that said, we'll never see a banking crisis like we did in our lifetime compared to what happened in 2008. Well, that was in 2017. Wrong. Oh, but she was head of the Federal Reserve then. Now she's just head of the Treasury. Wrong. Or is it a lie? I can't tell. It's probably a lie. These people have to be smarter than that, because some dork with a brohawk and a dream of warning everybody, can't be the only one knowing this. There's got to be other people. But like they just said right here, this is from the Dallas Fed. We see this. I'm going to repeat this again. Our company, this is from a company, sorry, they were talking about from China, has experienced the same thing every time interest rates go up beyond 5%. Awesome. It says right here, labor market indicators pointed to slower growth in employment. Looking forward, respondents' expectations regarding future service sector activity fell from 3.9 to negative 3.4. We are in uncharted territory. This is exciting. I mean, the last time we've seen stagflation, it was a long time ago, and all the people that dealt with it are dead. So now we got a bunch of rookies. This is exciting. And finally, piling on, they say, retail sales declined in September. Well, that's weird. Maybe it's because people have less money. According to business executives responding to the Texas Retail Outlook survey, the sales index, a key measure of state retail activity, fell from negative 0.6% to negative 4.4, marking its fifth consecutive monthly negative territory. Now, wait a minute, 0.6 to 4.4, that is a big jump month over month. But hey, it's all right. Everything's just fine. Just go look at President Biden's Twitter feed. It's full of all kind of mumbo jumbo, make you feel good stuff. It's like a Hallmark movie on Twitter. By the way, if you don't follow me on X, just go check it out. Yeah, there's not much there. You don't have to worry about it. It says here, check this out. Respondents in the service sector echoed in the manufacturing business fears. Inflation, uncertainty about China, and the U.S. political situation are the three largest distractors for business development. Well, I'm so glad we got China to blame these days. We've been getting so tired of blaming Russia and Ukraine. Let's blame someone new. Oh, that's right, because they're about to go, not Taiwan. Okay, the party's starting. We're going to come and take you over. That war is about to start. And that's going to shock the economy even more than Russia and Ukraine. You know, Ukraine has the democratic servers. Taiwan has the American manufacturing of semiconductor chips. It's a big deal. It says right here, most new business opportunities have dried up. Do you really believe that? Do you believe that? But I'm curious. Type 9 if you believe it. Type 10 if you believe there are amazing opportunities in this market because you are looking at it as a glass half full instead of a glass half empty. I think that's really important. It says work with existing clients is shrinking or moving to nearshore partners. A possible federal government shutdown is very concerning. Well, that's a given. Like, think about how much fear the Democrats are going to be able to impose, oh, and the Republicans, there's a bunch of morons in that group too. They're going to be able to impose maximum fear. It's going to be like WWF, but for economics. Let me tell you, buddy, this is going to be the most amazing fight ever. On one corner, we got a bunch of Democrats that are complete morons and fools that need a safe space. On the other side, we got a bunch of rhino Republicans that need to literally just go. Go. You're not doing us any favors. And we're going to put together the most fear you've ever seen. It says here, things are not getting better. We wrote the fewest number of proposals in a 7-year period, even worse than during the pandemic. High interest rates and construction pricing are really hurting new construction starts. Developers are leery of starting new projects. You know, I have to share something. You know, I've been warning about this real estate crash, and you're going to see something really amazing in January, and so is Wall Street. They're all going to be like, and that's the census data. You see, there's a lot of sales that happen on Facebook before they even hit the market. They don't even hit the MLS. They just, boom, get sucked up quick. And one of the things that appraisers have not taken into account and Wall Street has not taken into account is to how many of these home builders are taking concessions, or they're not taking concessions, they're buying down these rates on the back end, where they can come out and say, oh, we're offering, we've worked with the bank and we're offering 30-year fixes at a much reduced rate. But here's the catch. A lot of these, it's a reduced rate, like 4% for the first year, and then it jumps to 5%. And I'm telling you, that is going to be unreal. Now, B. Spain just gave a super chat, and this is very important too. Says right here, I read somewhere that there were no offers for US bonds overnight. Now, I don't know about the overnight just recently, but I can tell you this. When bonds are coming up to be offered for sale, there are fewer and fewer buyers. And that is because people around the world do not want to buy into the dollar anymore because they're using their currencies for bilateral trade in other ways. But also, who would want to buy a bond right now at whatever yield when they know the Federal Reserve says rates are going higher in the future and they're going to stay higher for longer? Which means if you buy, let's say, $10,000 worth of bond, with an interest rate of X, but then the next, and you've got your $10,000. Well, tomorrow if rates go up again, why would anyone want to buy your bond for $10,000? It's going to be worth less because they're going to go and buy a $10,000 bond at a higher yielding rate. Neil, thank you so much. I'm going to see you in a few days in Vegas. It'll be a pleasure to meet you in person. I think it's very important that we all understand how big of a deal this is. That bond market, the 3 years of consecutive losses, we haven't seen this in the bond market since the 1780s. It's a big deal. When the bond market goes and there's no buyers for bonds, what happens? Hey, Carlos is here too. Hey, Carlos, thank you for moderating. Rates go up. When you can't sell a bond, you have to offer a higher rate of return. I'm telling you, the Federal Reserve has gotten a lot of people fooled. They're not the ones pushing this rate up. They're trying to stay up with the rates. And as more or fewer and fewer buyer of these bonds happen, it's going to get way worse than what this story is about, where they're saying the outlook is dismal. We are not going to have a soft landing. That's why I want you ready, and you need to take action now. You need to be out of debt. Take action now. Get ready for this. If you want to buy 10 homes, 100 homes, or you just want to save money on one and you need to understand those cycles, that's what that real estate crash course is for, to get you into that. And then I'm going to keep bringing higher level courses. And as of right now, whoever's in the course, whenever this second course is done, Home Seller Pro, you're going to be enrolled in that for free, because I want to be known as bringing the most value I can to the world when it comes to this real estate crash and this economic turn. But you got to have skin in the game, and you've got to actually say, today's the day, I'm going to do it. If you want to change your life, you need to take action. No one else can do it for you. With that being said, I thank you so much for watching. I'll put the links down below, and also the side hustle course, cheapest it's ever been, $199. Hope you have a great day. Ninja, out.